Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namofsky, and today we're focusing on championing gender justice with legal perspectives. Now, Nicole, before we went to break, you mentioned your extensive experience in the gender-based violence sector before becoming a lawyer. How has this background influenced your approach to advocating for clients and basically supporting them through their legal journey?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, but obviously I'm biased, but I think it's actually really valuable, the experience that I have. So I have 20 years of experience before becoming a lawyer as a counselor and an advocate for those experiencing gender-based violence. So I've worked in women's shelters, I've worked in the criminal court supporting witnesses, I've worked with pregnant people who are fleeing domestic violence. And I think all of that really does inform how I approach my work and work with my clients every day, because I'm trauma informed. And what that means is that I have an understanding of what trauma is. I have an understanding of how it impacts people, and I support people to make their own decisions. I give them space. I recognize what could be triggering. And I'm a little bit more in tune. So I like to say, I have a handle on TikTok. If you want to look me up, I'm the empathy lawyer. So that is really what fuels me in all of my work. And I think, there are different lawyers with different skills, and we all bring something different, right? Some people want a bulldog, someone that's going to go and fight. And of course, I have the ability to represent my clients well and get them what they need, but I do it differently. I do it with empathy and kindness. And I also think that translates to how I work with opposing counsel. I try and partner with them and find a solution, of pave a way forward that isn't ridden with conflict.
And I have seen you on TikTok, and you're very, very good. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, because you do lead with empathy. That's pretty powerful. Your background helps you not only, deal with the law, but you understand each individual person that you're dealing with.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I try, or at least I understand the difficulties that they're facing and how to support them and listen and give them space. And I think that's what's so important, because, talking about what I said about justice and what justice means to everybody, sometimes justice is just being heard and acknowledged and validated. And so sometimes I can give that, at least a piece of it, to the clients that I work with. And I think that can be really valuable for them too.
So, Nicole, in your opinion, what are the key steps that need to be taken to create safer and more inclusive work environments for women and marginalized groups? And I know you specialize in Ontario, so you can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all need to come together more. I think that the justice system is a huge barrier as it exists. First of all, laws are really hard to understand. They're really hard to navigate, even for me, and I have 2 law degrees. There is so much red tape. I'll give you an example. I had to help a client file a motion in family court. That's not my usual forum, family court, but I was supporting her because it was a human rights issue as well. And I just couldn't say no. So I went through that. But just to file one motion, which is basically a request for a judge to make a decision about something, I had to send in an affidavit that I had to swear to, saying that I had served it on one person. I had to send another document, I think 10 documents in total, to file this one motion. It took me hours and hours of time. And I did this pro bono, but usually you have to pay for that kind of work. And that's a fortune. People can't access that, nor can they navigate it without a lawyer, because it is so complicated and so difficult to do. So that's what really needs to change, in my opinion, access to justice.
So here we're talking about the complexities of it. How do you navigate the complexities and emotional toll involved in supporting clients who've experienced trauma and injustice, and making sure that they feel heard and supported throughout the legal process, because that's not an easy thing to do.
Oh, it isn't. And and sometimes people find it really hard, especially with the delay. That's another thing to acknowledge. This, right now the Human Rights Tribunal is overrun, and as a result, incredibly delayed, years and years. I'm dealing right now with hearings from applications that were filed in 2017. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, right. It's really disappointing. So how do I navigate that with them? Again, I give them space. I support them. I try and manage expectations from the outset. I ensure that they understand what they're getting into and what the process is, at which points they're going to be engaged versus having to wait. It's another reason I do my TikTok, because I think the more tools that people have in their hands from the beginning, the more they can do by themselves, or the more they know, even, okay, like I'm at work and they're treating me horribly. Oh, I have recourse. There's something I can do. Most people don't even know about the Human Rights Code, and that they can engage with it.
And that's why we're having this discussion right now. So don't go away. We'll be right back.